over 3,300 cybercrimes are taking place weekly around the world, with banks and government entities among those targeted. In South Africa, a Midrand man has appeared in court this week after he was caught with 10 million images of child pornography. The Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation today hosted officials from Interpol in an effort to tackle the growing problem. The Hawk's Head is Dr. Godfrey Lebeya, who joins us in studio tonight. Dr. Lebeya, good evening to you, and thank you very much for your time.
Good evening to you and your viewers.
Well, thank you for joining us. I'd like to start with just how much money South Africa alone. I know you hosted officials from Interpol today, but just our country alone, how much have we suffered through cybercrime in the past year?
I haven't put together the statistics of what shall have been reported to us, but one can accept that there is a lot of money that is being lost. So the quantity thereof is what I haven't put together, as it was not part of the discussion that we had.
That's fine. So let's look then at efforts to try and stop this from a law enforcement point of view. There are suggestions being made by experts that AI is going to result in many of these cybercrime incidents, particularly in 2025. I don't know why this year is particularly being warned about. To your mind, who are the probable victims here?
Anyone who have got resources that are kept in other institutions where the access to those resources are through computer or whatever internet processes, is a potential victim. But obviously we understand that these institutions knows that cyber criminals are trying day and night to access those resources, and they are putting mechanisms to try to block those. But obviously individuals have to be careful in whatever electronic gadget they are using to process. You look at people who want to pay some of their accounts, they just put their card closer to a machine, and sometimes that card they put in the pocket. And it is part of the risks that we have. It is an easier mode of doing the payment, easier mode of doing the transaction, but there is always a risk associated with that.
Yeah.
Usually those who are standing a risk, higher risk, are those who have got the resources. If you do not have the resources, the risk is low.
Yeah.
But I think that we are doing our best, which is why we have called on this conference so that we can upskill the skills that we are having to be able to respond to that challenge.
Let's talk about the ways to fight this from a law enforcement point of view. How easy or difficult is it to catch these criminals?
It is not an easy task, because usually these individuals hide their faces. You can only see the transactions. One can cite 4 examples of matters that we have already dealt with regard to cybercrime. Sometimes we do not always understand what is actually cybercrime. We have been dealing with this kind of criminal activities before the promulgation of the Cybercrimes Act in 2020. So after 2020, there are several crimes that have got a slightly different title. You have got cyber fraud. You have got cyber forgery and uttering.
Yeah.
So those things that we had in the past, like forging a certificate, now if you do it electronically, it becomes cyber forgery and uttering, cyber extortion. So you will recall that we had some of the crimes like a certain Kolani, Grigory Koza, that on the 24th of June last year, he was advocating that South Africa should shut down and that the President of the Republic should be removed. He was hiding behind the systems. We were able to pick him up. That is cyber criminality. You have got another...
How did you do that? How were you able to trace him behind his computer screen? Because that's what they hide behind.
Yeah, there is a particular science that we use, which if we were to reveal here, some of them might become cleverer and even hide further. So let's just say that there is a science that we use to be able to identify them. It's not only this. You will recall when it came to the unrest, July unrest, most of those people were hiding behind computers. So there is a system that we have utilized to be able to identify them. We had the other one, Enrico Kaiser Casper, who was planning, saying that he is planning to assassinate the president. And on the 22nd of May last year, he was also sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. So that kind of crime that he have committed is called cybercrime. In the past, you could just call it a normal criminal activity. Yeah. You have got the other one that is Yasin Harris Ruedrius. So in this one, I will be reporting fully on the 31st of January this year, when I brief the nation about the status of our activities in the DPCI. So that individual also committed cybercrime. Yeah. Of the more than 74 counts that this individual was convicted of, 49 of those are cybercrime.
Can I also sway the conversation to child pornography? Recently, we saw an individual appearing in court, and 10 million copies of child pornography were seized at his property, including cash. How widespread is that aspect of cybercrime?
Yeah, so those type of offenses are handled by our detective service. There is a specialized unit called FCS, Family Violence and Child Protection Unit. So it is their mandate to look at those individuals that are interested in visiting those sites that have got this kind of pictures, and they do download. Some of them, their systems are able to download as many as they can, which is why you will find them in possession of many.
Apart from downloading, Dr. Lebeya, apart from downloading, are some of these individuals manufacturing this kind of activity? In other words, they're getting children to get involved in acts of a sexual nature, in the process, therefore, exploiting children.
Yes, that is what is happening, which could be anywhere. It's not you can't pinpoint that this is happening in this particular country, but that is what the investigation will lead you. So the crime itself, you don't necessarily have to be proven where this picture was manufactured, where the incident itself has happened. The fact that you are possessing this kind of images, especially those of children, on its own is a crime. And you will add the element, because you are doing it through computerized system and the like, then you add the element of cybercrime.
We're fast getting into that digital age, especially children today. What is your warning to the general public about how to avoid either children being exposed to pornography or children becoming victims of child pornography, to people being scammed for huge amounts of money. What would the general warning be to the public?
The general warning, the first one would be that when dealing with kids, we would like to expose to the systems, and they would love to access every site that they can find on the computer. And some of the sites, although they will be asking questions whether how old are you before you access this site, but the kids may also say that they are old enough to be able to access those sites. So the parents should take care of what is that which their kids are able to access.
Yeah.
And then late in the evening, I think at times we should be removing some of this gadget so that while we are resting, the kids should not be attracted to go and enter into this system and be able to communicate with some of the individuals that will be misleading them.
Yeah.
When it comes to monetary way, we must just be careful that we don't expose those identification system, either the PIN numbers of our access to the financial resources that we have.
I've got to sway your attention to illegal mining. There is an alleged kingpin that is on the loose. He's nicknamed Tiger. It's a Lesotho national. Are you, as the Hawks, involved in that case? And how big an embarrassment has this been for law enforcement in South Africa?
Yeah, I think that the spokesperson of the SAPS, Brigadier Mate, have already indicated how embarrassed the organization is, how disappointed the organization is with regard to those who have been involved in allowing the individual to escape. So we are involved in the hunt for the individual. We hope that anyone who sees the individual will be able to assist us so that he can come and account on what he has been doing at the place where he was found.
Are you worried that he may have skipped the country already?
If he has skipped the country, we are not very much worried about the skipping of the country. Hopefully that he has skipped the country to a country where we are able to quickly bring him back. And I think that the country that, the first country that he might want to go to, they will be prepared to bring him back.
Final question to you. There is a case that you were involved, the Hawks members, in investigating, and it is that of the minister in the presidency relating to the Palabora municipality. Where are you in relation to that? Because there are intimations that you have concluded investigations and it is now waiting for a decision from the NPA.
Yeah, usually we do not want to be commenting on matters that are still under investigation. I don't want to be mentioning names of individuals that we are handling the cases on. But generally, if you were to say that there is a case involving the municipality of Palabora without talking to who could be the suspect in the matter, I would have been indicating that that particular case obviously have received the necessary attention and then was tabled before the prosecuting authority. There are different layers in the prosecuting authority. The first layer will hand over to the second one, and the second one will still consider that and provide directions. I think currently, with regard to that case of Palabora, the prosecuting authority have given certain directives of what need to be looked at. So that is how far I can say. I haven't mentioned the name of anyone.
you are very careful not to. And so we are grateful for you at least giving us some information on it. Dr. Godfrey Lebeya, thank you very much for your time.